What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got some more mental entitled parent stories for you, so sit back, relax, and let's get into the first one. My entitled father nearly burns down the house. So, normally I try to keep these lighthearted, but this only just happened last night. And because of it, I have gotten very little sleep, so I may or may not get into more of a rant in some places. Apologies. For some context, my father is a dialysis patient with double kidney failure and can barely see due to his diabetes, but he barely listens to his doctor. He is also one of the most entitled people I know. For proof of this, I have two more stories on this sub. One where he demands I give up one of my $300 bikes to him, and the other where we go shopping and my father doesn't understand what closing means. So, flashback to 3 AM. I am asleep in my room and suddenly my cat comes sprinting into the room, knocking a ton of stuff over, causing me to wake up. Immediately, I smell smoke and I'm very confused, but I don't yet panic. Unsurprisingly, my father has burnt food at 3 AM before, so I just assume that's what's happened and that he took care of it. Not this time apparently, because I sit up and immediately the smoke in the house is obvious. While it isn't so thick you can see it, it's definitely thick enough to know something is very, very wrong. I rush out into the kitchen and sure enough, I see a sauce pot billowing smoke like a frickin' smokestack. I immediately shut off the burner and turn on the stove fan. Looking into the kitchen and living room, which are right next to each other, is something I can only describe as looking through the cliche smoke haze in a stoner house multiplied by 5. I immediately wake my father up, yelling about how he left a freaking pan on the burner. Then I start opening windows. All of them were shut since it was below 60 where I live. My father immediately starts cursing, and when I ask him if he was going to help me air out the house, he says that he doesn't feel well, and that I need to do it myself. He then gets up to go take a 20-minute poop in the bathroom, which meant I was down one exhaust fan. This freaking idiot almost burns down the house, then immediately refuses to help. What is he doing? My conversation with my dad was enough to wake my mother, and she runs out of her room panicking because of the smoke in the air. I explain the situation and she starts to yell at my father, who claims it wasn't his fault because he had meant to come back to the soup. He just fell asleep by accident. That's still your fault though. As these two are having an argument, I start busting out our window fans, turning them to face outwards to get all the smoke out of the house. My mum eventually starts to help and all the arguing has awoken my brother, who was asleep and didn't notice the smoke since his door was shut with the massive window in there wide open. He loves sleeping in the cold. At this point, we are all fuming and my brother works first shift, so he gets to miss out on an hour of sleep basically. While this is going on, my father is still in the bathroom refusing to help anyone. Why? Because he is a POS and the 5 cats are freaking the frick out. So we're trying to get all these windows open and fans in them while cats are sprinting between potential exits, all while my father gets to hide from his mistakes. We got all the fans blowing, so me and my mum went and sat down in the living room. We're too awake and both got headaches from smoke at this point. Now, if at this point in the story you are wondering why no smoke detectors went off, potentially saving us from having to do all of this, well then don't worry, my idiot father has the answer. You see, we were wondering the same thing. Our smoke detectors are wired into the house's electrical with a battery backup in case of power outage, so there is no way that they shouldn't have been working. So I twist one off the wall and noticed the detector had been switched off. Assuming this was the case for both, my mother and I go back and forth discussing why they were shut off. Then my father comes out and says in a voice so matter of fact that it was almost like he wasn't just responsible for nearly burning down our house less than 30 minutes ago. I actually shut them off last time I made steak in the skillet because the smoke kept causing them to go off. So this dumb mother effer actually shut off the smoke detectors and didn't turn them back on when he was done. This dumb mother effer nearly started a fire in a trailer. Now, I don't know what you may know about trailers, but they are built out of super flammable and cheap materials, so a fire in a trailer is like lighting a freaking firecracker. You see, usually what my dad does is at least funny in hindsight, but he literally almost freaking killed us here. If not from the risk of fire, then from the potential smoke inhalation, and he literally just sat there like a freaking child doing nothing. Honestly, I'm still annoyed because I couldn't sleep for hours and the house still smells like smoke. God dang it. Anyway, thanks for reading. Wow, OP, it sounds to me like your father has some serious issues. I know you mentioned his health issues, but more than that, like what he's doing there just makes no sense, and it's clearly threatening all of your family's lives and the cats. Most importantly, the cats, guys. Think of the cats. Look, if I'm honest, OP, I just feel really sorry for you. I can't imagine living with somebody like that. When you go to sleep at night, you're constantly now going to be thinking, is my life in danger? You know, like the stuff that he's doing is so crazy. You need to get out of that house if at all possible. Maybe like put him in a home or something. Yeah, it's just mad. Now moving on to our next story of today's video, entitled Soccer Mum Demands I Wake Up Everybody in College Dorm because her daughter needs to do laundry. For those who aren't familiar, resident assistants are college students who are responsible for dealing with issues their fellow resident students experience in the dorms. Let's call them RAs for short. Now OP is one of these. We enforce university policies, generally try to keep the peace and keep everybody safe and healthy. A group of 4 girls on the soccer team lived catty corner to me, across the hall down one room. They threw loud parties every week and their guests often trashed our floor, as well as threw drinks on my door, ripped down my flyers, etc. I was incredibly chill and at most broke up their parties after issuing 2 warnings when I could hear them playing beer pong through my own closed door with headphones in. I never really called in campus security because I didn't want to be petty or make enemies. I had a pretty wild party life on the DL and didn't want to lose my job / free housing. But thankfully, karmic justice was delivered. I got a text from an entitled kid, my annoying resident, a sophomore on the women's soccer team one day, saying she saw a dead bug in her room. She sent me a picture and I suspected it was a bed bug. I'd had them before in my own home, so I knew. I immediately reported it to the Res Life director and fumigation was scheduled for the next day. This meant that the entitled kid's whole suite had to clear out for 3 days, as well as the residents across from, next to, above, and beneath them. My roommates and I, by the way, got to stay put. They were also advised to deep clean their rooms, wash all textiles in hot water, etc. I broke the news to the entitled kid and her roommates in a group chat, and poop immediately hits the fan. Not half an hour later, my supervisor, GA, a super cool, mild-mannered, level-headed guy who just wanted to finish grad school and help college students, knocks on my door asking me to help out with the situation. The entitled kid's mother, an entitled soccer mum, is raising heck in her daughter's room. She's fuming about having to drive out in the middle of the night, 10 p.m-ish, she lives in the next town over, like 15 minutes away, to help her daughter clear out these disgusting, squalid conditions. They have the door propped open so they can schlep all the personal belongings into the hallway and out to their cars. The entitled mum is speaking very loudly and it echoes in the hallway and stairwell, disturbing the heck out of anybody in a 2-room radius. She goes on and on about being a social worker and knowing how bedbugs work and how horribly inconvenient and traumatic this whole situation is for her kid. She then says this all couldn't have come at a worse time because the girls have a game tomorrow and they need their rest. In the midst of all this, my grad assistant and I just stand by to show support and presence as university employees. We let the mum know that we're sorry for this massive inconvenience and that we're happy to help with whatever we can to make this easier, but that a lot of this is out of our control. At one point in her tirade, the entitled mum pitches a fit about how all of her daughter's bedding and clothing needed to be washed to prevent the spread of bedbugs. Imagine her displeasure that the 2 washing machines on our floor are currently occupied. Why are people doing laundry at this hour? I need these machines. Well, people keep to different schedules. I'm sure the person will come back for their clothes when the cycle is done. You're welcome to use the washers when they're empty. The timer showed that there were maybe 15-ish minutes left. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did a lot of washing at university very late at night. It's definitely true, people do keep to different schedules. No, these need to be washed immediately in hot water. Bugs are living in my baby's room. I'm sorry, Mom. The machines on this floor are all full. We can try going to another floor's laundry room and seeing if they have open machines. It's not like it was a long trip either. At most, she had to walk 30 feet to the elevator, go up 1 floor, and walk another 30 feet to the next closest laundry room. No, take their stuff out. I don't care if the cycle isn't done. I need to wash these clothes now. She has a game tomorrow. I just can't touch someone else's clothes like that, but I can see if I can find who's doing laundry and ask them to take it out. In the meantime, I'll put an out of order sign on the door so you can have full access when the machines are empty, okay? Go find them and get their trash out of the washers. Do you know how much I pay in tuition? I should have exclusive access in this emergency, and I better not have to pay for laundry. Yeah, I do. It's not a cheap school, but laundry is included in room and board, so it won't cost anything extra. Feel free to use whatever is available. Now let me go and find whose clothes are in the wash now. I reluctantly knocked on every dang door in my hall at 11 PM on a weeknight, sheepishly asking, "Hey, is anybody here doing laundry? A parent needs the machines ASAP." A lot of people didn't even bother opening the door. Those who did crankily said, "Nobody's doing laundry," and closed the door in my face. I reported these findings back to the entitled soccer mum, who did not take this well. "But they have a game tomorrow. Doesn't anybody understand? I need these machines." I'm sorry, but I cannot and will not remove someone else's wet clothes from the machines. And I can't allow you to do it either, but I checked the 3rd floor and their laundry room is empty if you want to take everything up there. The entitled mum threw a look at my grad assistant, likely expecting him to override my statement and pitch some poor kid stuff on the floor. But he said, "OP is right, mom. We can't do anything about the taken washers, but you can use any laundry room in the building. Every floor has at least 2 washers and dryers, and it's late, so most machines should be free. OP, can you get some of the extra detergent from the duty booth, please?" I happily obliged, grateful to leave this awful woman's presence for just 5 minutes. The entitled mum huffed out a fake-sounding thanks, and ultimately accepted that we'd done as much as we could. She was much more preoccupied hauling all her daughter's stuff out in industrial garbage bags. I gave her a couple Tide Pod samples as a consolation prize and retreated down the hall to my room. The next day, I ran into my grad assistant on campus and he thanked me for handling everything so well and apologized for that woman being so crazy. I said, "Honestly, I'm not even mad. Those idiots got bed bugs and I don't even have to move out of my room. Karma if I've ever seen it." We shared a laugh, the building got sprayed for bugs, and nobody wanted to party in a bed bug room for the rest of the semester. Honestly, OP, fair play for actually helping this woman after all the trash that she said to you. Like when she said to you, "Oh, do you know how much I pay for tuition?" I would have said, "Yeah, the same as all of us on this floor at this entire university or college, wherever it was. Like, you're not special. You don't take precedence over other people. I'm sorry, but yeah, fair play, OP. If it was me in that position, I would not have wanted to help her at all. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have done. Sorry, but no, you don't deserve my help." But yeah, you're right, absolutely true. You know, it sounds like they were having a few too many parties in their room late at night. I mean, I'm not against having a party in your room. It sounds like a lot of fun, but when you do it a lot and it's, you know, way past everyone else's time for going to sleep and they've got to get up for lectures in the morning, yeah, it's probably a bit too much. But yeah, they've got bed bugs in their room. No more parties, as you say. Sounds like a good deal for everyone, well, apart from the entitled mum and her daughter, that is, of course. Anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to smash a like. And also, if you are still watching right now, I want to see who my true fans are. Comment down below, bedbug. Just one word, bedbug. And I want to see how many of you guys watching, you know, watch to the very end of the video. And, you know, watch the end screen, watch all this banter where I don't do anything in particular. I'm just chilling here on the mic, just saying nothing in particular. I don't really know why you're still here. Go and click another video, subscribe, I'll see you tomorrow, comment bedbug, peace.